Jayaguru, Sankirta Stotra Vandana. Oh, So we have got another day to start. I am requesting Priyanshi from Hyderabad to recap the session of yesterday. So over to you, Priyanshi, from Hyderabad.
Jayaguru Bhai O Maa. Bhai, can you please share the screen?
Priyanshi.
आ गया भाई, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Continue.
Well, from the very beginning, our journey of getting to know Swami Nigamananda was a mystical one, if you have noticed. Whether we read about his sacred thread ceremony that we all are aware of, or his fascination with spiritual tales, the first vision of Divine Mother marked his early years. Then we saw the loss of his mother, early marriage, and the demise of his wife Sudhansubala deepened his quest for life after death. From seeking to gurus to becoming one, what a radiant rise it was. But until yesterday, where an event was read out that was not only important for him, but it was a crucial part in the life of us as devotees. So without a further ado, let's begin with what we read yesterday. So yesterday we read that one day, while being surrounded by his devoted Odia disciples, Swami Nigamananda rightly said, "If you have come to me, let your people not play child's play, or मते धरिलोनी जदि भल कि धर आ पिला खेल परि करनी." I made a historic announcement, the creation of the Nilachala Saraswat Sangha. Later, on the day 24th of August 1934, on his auspicious birthday, the Jhulan Purnima, the Sangha was established. Well, I'd like to give an example over here. As we have a diverse panel over here, be it Gyana Bhai from America Sangha, or Kuna Bhai from Delhi Sangha, Rabi Bhai from Hyderabad Sangha, or Priyamrata Mai and Devasis Bhai from different Sanghas. We all might come from different Sanghas, but one thing that common in us is the union, as Thakura rightly said, that we are one, the Nilachala Saraswat Sangha. This spiritual organization aimed to revive Sanatan Dharma by promoting an ideal way of living, especially for householders. He encouraged values like moral living, spiritual sharing, called Sangha Shaktira Pratishtha, and unity. Also, Bhava Minimoy, the expression of one's emotion, was introduced. As a sign of devotion, he asked his followers to keep his Bigro in a clean place and worship it. This marked the birth of a lasting spiritual movement. Prati Gruhe Stapina, Gurunka Asana, Sakala Sanjare, Koro Pujana Archana. After this, he headed to Kolkata, and as we read that on returning, Swami Nigamananda collapsed on beach from illness, worrying his followers. Though doctors diagnosed them with dizziness and all, he gradually improved. His Odia disciples faced financial trouble attending a spiritual gathering. Similarly, Banamali Bhai stepped in to provide funds through consulting letters with Sri Thakur Maharaj. Despite brief improvement, there was not much improvement in Thakura's health, and it declined steadily, and treatments proved ineffective. In Odisha, while his stay, he often spoke of his death premonitions and how his seed should be worshipped after him. Also, I'd like to add a point over here that in the future we might read the Odia Jibani, and in that there's a chapter of Mrityu a Paraloko Tattare Sri Thakur Maharaj. Well, I'm not aware much about it, but I hope that it would be an interesting session, as during this phase of life in different books it's written that how Thakura used to feel about his death, that it's his last day on the earth is going to come, and he used to discuss it with his devotees. And then later taken to Kolkata for better care, he stayed in Bhelgharia, first in a rented house, then one arranged later. Dr. Vidhan Chandra Roy examined him. Thakura remarked, Ebar, Vidhaner Vidhan Cholvena. He later told Surabala Ma that his beloved Sudhan Subala had come to visit him, bringing him comfort in his final days. On November 28, 1935, Swami Nigamananda told Motilal Bhai he was withdrawing for his devotees' welfare. The next day, he repeatedly entered Samadhi. Briefly, he revived at Bhuvan Bhai's request. His final words were a wish to be left alone and his devotees could find peace. He passed away at 1:15 p.m. on November 29. A grand funeral procession followed and he was buried at Halisahar, where he had first time met Masudhan Subala. Thakura had said that though he is leaving, his physical body would continue to stay in the form of Guru with his devotees, and gave them the Mahamantra, Joy Guru. Siddha Mahamantra Nama Joy Guru Joy, Anadira Adi Nama Joy Guru Joy, Mahasakti Dhara Nama Joy Guru Joy, Taka Brahma Mahanama Joy Guru Joy. This was not just the demise of a man, but the end of a radiant chapter in India's spiritual history, one marked by teachings and a life devoted to the divine. And as I conclude, I'd like to just add a point that my grandfather, Baba, Dr. Pramod Kumar Mohanty, late, he used to say one point that Thakura Bhavagrahi, he respected your inner self, the Bhava. ଠାକୁର ଏଇଟା ଦେଖନ୍ତିନି କି ଆପଣ କେତେ ଘିଅ କି ଡ୍ରାଇ ଫ୍ରୁଟ୍ସ ପକେଇକି ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଭୋଗ କରନ୍ତି, but all that matters is your inner self. And obviously this chapter of Thakura's life was not an easy one for me to summarize in minutes, but I've tried my best, and with due respect I request Gyana Bhai and Kuna Bhai that if I've left any point, please do add it. And all of us have different ways of presenting it, as all fingers of a human being are not same. So I've tried it to present it my way. अगर मो सेबारे किसी त्रुटि रहि जाइथिबो निज गुणरे क्षमा करिबे। जय गुरु।
Thank you, Priyansi, for your elaborate and to the point recapping the entire session of yesterday. You not only covered whatever we discussed, you also referred the Odia Jivani book. Every day we keep writing, the reference book is Odia Jivani. I think for the first time we heard from somebody, she referred the Odia Jivani and pointed out what she referred to. So I could remember the day you read the book, your voice modulation, your narration, everything was perfect, and same as goes for today also. So a good round of applause for Priyanshi, and may Thakurjee bless you. We all will be with you in any time to come to get more seva from you. So without wasting any further time, I am requesting Priyambada Ma and Devashish Bhai to kindly present this course of yesterday.
Jayaguru Bhai, Jayaguru everyone. So yesterday we had received 33 responses, and out of which we got in our junior group Riddhi Ma from Karnataka Sangha, Anand Swarup Bhai from Pune Sangha, Amruta Ma from Hyderabad Sangha, and Gurudas Bhai from Kupari Sangha. They got the full score. And in senior group we got Shivani Dasma from Ekamra Sangha, Namrata Dasma from Hyderabad Sangha, and Divyanshu Ghade Bhai from Jagannathpur Sangha for the quickest response with full score. Congratulations to everyone.
Congratulations to all of you. A good round of applause for all of them who have scored good mark yesterday. Though the number was 33 out of them, three from senior and three from junior, is being flashed. But congratulations to all of you who have attended the questions and answer session of yesterday. As you all know, we flashed the QR code on Nigam Swadhyay group yesterday. So today also we are expecting more participation. Anyway, so thank you. We have got another Ma from Delhi Sarswat Sangh called Sadhana Shirin. She is here today to read about today's session. Without wasting any further time, I am requesting Sadhana Shirin kindly go through the discussion of today. Please start reading. Thank you. Over to you, Sadhana.
Jayaguru Bhai. Jayaguru.
Jayaguru.
Samilani and other notable incidents. Chaitanya Bhai arranged some money which could barely meet the expenditure for ticket and travelled to attend Sarvabhauma Samilani at Matha. After the Samilani was over, Thakur called for Chaitanya Bhai. He told, Chaitanya Bhai, did you get pleasure attending the Samilani? Chaitanya Bhai said, yes, Thakur. After your return, tell Bannamali, Durga Charan and others about the pleasure you imbibed and the experience you gained. But later, arriving at Puri, sitting on the sea beach, Thakur said, let us not hold the Samilani at Puri this year. Let you people attend Sarvabhauma Samilani and learn by your experience. Next year, you can hold Samilani here. But the devotees had received the news that Thakur himself had announced Samilani to be held at Puri on the days of Samilani held at Math. Moreover, listening to every detail including the pleasure Chaitanya Bhai availed had inspired them to go ahead with the arrangement for Samilani. They told him, no Thakur, we have already informed others that Samilani is going to be held at Puri, and moreover, we have already advanced with the arrangement of Samilani. We cannot cancel the program now at this stage. Thakur looked at their face and said, okay, whatever you desire. On that day, nobody knew the reason behind his advice. He also did not disclose it as he did not want to disappoint them. But before the Samilani could commence, he passed away. Bannamali Bhai and Durga Charan Bhai went to Halisahar to attend the burial ceremony. A meeting was held there to take a decision regarding next Samilani. In the absence of Thakur, no one was there to support the claim of Odia devotees for Samilani to be held at Puri. It was decided that on that year, Samilani will be held at Halisahar and next year it will be held at Puri. They pointed out that devotees will desire to pay their respect to Thakur at his Samadhi Sthal. Bannamali Bhai and Durga Charan Bhai, who had felt themselves orphaned due to loss of Thakur, returned to Odisha with broken hearts. Next year, rounds of discussion and meetings were held. Many expressed their reservation about the possibility of holding Samilani at Puri. Earlier, Thakur had decided Bagala Dharamsala and places to be hired for accommodation of devotees, but many argued that arranging food for so many devotees was almost impossible. Durga Charan Bhai categorically said that it was the desire of Thakur, hence they must get themselves prepared having full faith on him. On the day, they were discussing like that and came to Nilachala Kutir. While Durga Charan Bhai was taking a nap at Kutir, he heard a very familiar voice and becoming alert, he saw Thakur sitting on a chair. A minute was lapsed before he bowed down to pay him his respect. Somehow he found his words and said, Thakur, you have come? It was neither a statement nor a question. Thakur said smilingly, yes, I had promised to come here before Samilani and have kept my word. Durga Charan Bhai asked, Thakur, can we take a stroll on the beach like before? Thakur laughed and said, why not? Let us go. They went for a stroll on the beach, but it was not disclosed what they talked about or what he said to them before returning to the unknown land from where he came. It is evident from this divine performance that there existed no barriers between Sthula, physical, Sukshma, subtle or Karana, causal world for him. He remains above time, condition and situation. Strangely, after the instance, money and material started pouring in, inspiring the devotees to reach the no return point to hold the Bhakta Samilani at Puri. When the Samilani was at Puri was over with grand success, the Vigraha of Thakur was taken in a procession on the return journey to Kutira. In front of Lord Jagannath temple, thousands gathered to take part in procession. Hundreds joined Sankirtan. The procession was stopped for a while. Everybody enjoying the Sankirtan could not pay proper attention to his Vigraha photo. Suddenly, it was found by somebody that the Vigraha or the photo is wet with water. Immediately, Sri Vigraha was cleaned with the piece of cloth. But wetness did not go, and drops of water like sweat flowed out of Sri Vigraha. Then they knew it was not water droplets, but the perspiration. This divine act was enacted in front of thousands present there. The car carrying Sri Vigraha was moved to a shade of tree, and after minutes of fanning, the perspiration stopped, and then only the procession was allowed to move ahead. The king and the queen of Bastar were religious minded people and were very much desirous to take shelter under Gurudev in order to embark on spiritual sadhana. One has no option but take shelter under one's Guru to move in the path of spiritualism. They wanted to embark upon spiritual activities but did not know who was their Guru. But as years of search became fruitless, King Prafulla Chandra Bhanjadeo and Queen Prafulla Kumari remained in Vrata at the temple of their family deity Mother Dantakeshwari. After some days, Mother came in their dream and told them, "Your Guru is Swami Nigamananda of Bengal." King and Queen did not lose any time trying to locate him. After days of search and writing of letters, they came to know that Swami Nigamanand is residing in Nilachal Kutir, Puri. They came to Puri and availed Diksha from Thakur at Nilachal Kutir. Queen Prafulla Kumari loved Thakur no less than she loves her father, and Thakur accepted her as his daughter. On their request, Thakur visited Bastar on Durga Pujotsav and gave valuable discourses in the royal court to hundreds of people present in the royal court. Another incident took place when Thakur was on his way to pay a visit to the landlord's house in a village. The landlord had made elaborate preparation for a grand reception, and days before Thakur's arrival, cooks were engaged to prepare sweets and delicacies for the occasion. On Thakur's arrival, he was accorded a very warm welcome and was taken in a grand procession towards landlord's house. The landlord and other dignitaries were waiting at the place to receive him. The procession started moving through the village with hundreds of people taking part in it. Suddenly, Thakur ordered the procession to be stopped in front of a poor man's thatched house. He got down from the decorated car and entered the house. The poor couple was standing on their veranda with folded hands and were watching the procession. Thakur, getting down in front of their house and entering it, made them dumbfounded. They forgot their duty, courtesy, and even their very existence. Thakur, knowing their state of mind, said, "Are you not going to ask me to sit?" Their face became red in humiliation, and they at last found a mat and spreading it on the ground, requested Thakur to be seated. Thakur sat cross-legged on it and said, "Now I am hungry. Do you have something to eat?" Now the problem arose for them of how to serve the food. They had a single utensil or thali for both of them. Thakur laughed and said, "How can I take food in your utensil? Go bring a banana leaf and serve me food." They ran and brought a banana leaf. Thakur took a small portion of their offered food and told them, "You are going to get Diksha from me." They were at their wits' end getting him in their house, and now Diksha became a major problem for them. Thakur gave them Diksha in a very simplest manner, not even heard before, and leaving the grateful but dazed couple behind, he again joined the procession which moved towards the landlord's palace. From those two incidents, one can become sure that Thakur had prior knowledge of who are his disciples. Whoever they may be, either they are kings or poor cultivators, made no difference to him. Rather, he was more compassionate towards his poor disciples, knowing well that they have no resources and had to depend on him totally. Mr. Woodruff had some problems in acquiring knowledge about Hindu philosophy. He had done extensive research on Hindu philosophy and wanted to solve some complicated theoretical problems. He came to know that his problems can be solved by Swami Nigamananda. He collected information that Swami Nigamananda was living at Puri. He, after availing an appointment, came to Nilachal Kutir and met Thakur there. Mr. Woodruff wanted some clarification on Tantra, and Thakur explained, "Look, God has numerous powers. Tantra has dealt with Maya, the power of God. Like that, Vaishnava Shastra has dealt with Hladani power of God." Explaining the methods of devotion, he said, major powers of God are described by ancient scriptures as Sambindh, Sandhini, Hladini. If you want to know details regarding Swarupa Shakti, Tathastha Shakti and Maya Shakti, you have to study Vaishnava Shastras. Mr. Woodruff wanted to know which books he should read, and Thakur said, "You better read Narada Panchatantra and Satsandharva of Sri Jiva Goswami." After that, Mr. Woodruff returned being completely satisfied and came to Nilachal Kutir again after some time to be enlightened on certain spiritual matters. Thakur knew the levels of intelligence of different people and he satisfies all, explaining the theories according to their eligibility. According to him, one set of fixed answers for people, for all, can never quench thirst of knowledge of different types of people. His teaching was unique by itself, for which whoever came to him had never returned without obtaining full satisfaction. Once, a sannyasi arrived at Nilachal Kutir to meet Thakur. He was made to return on the first day, being asked to come next day. Before his arrival next day, Thakur had directed his Sevak to receive him properly. When he was seated and made comfortable, Thakur asked him about the purpose of his visit. The sannyasi told him that he wanted to learn a specific yogic kriya which no one was able to teach him. After many months of inquiry, he got the advice from a prominent saint of Bombay to meet Swami Nigamananda. After correspondence with authorities of Math, he was informed about Thakur's present address and he had come to Puri. After some discussion on the particular yogic kriya, Thakur said to Bhai, Durgacharan, show the kriya to Sannyasi Maharaj. Bhai took him to another room and performed the kriya himself. They came back after a few minutes and paying his respect to Thakur, Sannyasi Maharaj left being obliged. Before leaving, he told Bhai, you have learned this kriya from him at such a young age. You do not know how lucky you are being showered with his blessing. This episode proves beyond doubt the greatness of Sri Thakur Maharaj, who had thought young Bhai to be eligible and had taught him such a rare yogic kriya. The saying goes that great people nourish great thoughts. Again, Thakur, while at Math, had a habit of walking around the garden. Once while doing so, he observed a child, the student of Rishi Vidyalaya, playfully plucked a rose off the rose plant. He sensed a childhood mischief rising in him and came near the boy. Jokingly, he told the boy, "Why did you pluck the flower? I will tell your principal and he will punish you." He told with a serious face, and the boy, believing his words, pleaded with him not to tell the principal. Thakur said, "I will definitely tell your principal and you will get a thrashing." The boy started crying, requesting him not to tell the principal. Thakur smiled mischievously and left the boy on his own, and the boy left the place wiping his tears. Some days after, Thakur, while walking in the rose garden, plucked a flower absent-mindedly. Unfortunately or fortunately, the same boy saw him doing so. He came running to him and threatened him, saying that now it is his turn to inform the principal. Thakur pleaded with the small boy not to do so. The boy did not relent and again he threatened to inform the principal. Thakur started crying, yet the boy did not stop threatening. The disciples working in the garden heard Thakur crying. They rushed to the spot but could not understand what had taken place. The boy told them what had happened and they tried to beat the boy. Thakur saved the boy, but it took some time for him to become normal. When close disciples asked him, Thakur, the boy was an ignorant child and being afraid he cried that day. But Nath, the garden, everything belongs to you. Why then you cried? Thakur laughed and said, it was Vinamay. I had threatened the child and he cried. It was my turn to cry when he threatened me. Nothing unusual. Everybody laughed. Any knowledgeable person can well imagine at what level he had established himself. Scriptures have said that the self-realized Gyanis behaved like children because their minds get extremely clean being washed with true knowledge. The innermost recess of Thakur was like that of a child, but he becomes stern when the necessity to upgrade a disciple spiritually arises. On the sector of spiritual development of his followers, he never does any compromise. As a matter of fact, it was very difficult to understand his behavior and ways of functioning. A family consisting of 4 members were living in a village of Tripura district. Old mother, her son Aswini, daughter-in-law Selabala and their son were the members of family. They were very poor. Aswini was the only earning member. Aswini and his wife Selabala were the devotees of Thakur and had kept a photo of him in their bedroom which they worshipped daily. Their mother had a wrong notion and was sure that worshipping photos of saints brings in misfortune. She had told them not to worship the photo of Thakur many times in the past. Ashwini never listened to her and tried several times to explain that she is harboring a wrong notion. His mother, being an orthodox woman, never believed him. However, Ashwini and Selabala continued their worship in spite of their mother's displeasure. Once misfortune struck their poor family and Ashwini, the only earning member, died a premature death in cholera. Losing the only earning member, the family reeled under extreme difficulties and deep sadness. Mother became confirmed that the misfortune had come because of worshipping of the Vigraha photo of Thakur. The heartbroken old lady snatched a photo and telling repeatedly, Ashwini is gone because of you. Now you must also go. She ran to throw the photo in the nearby pond. When she neared the pond and was on the verge of throwing the Vigraha to water, she heard a voice telling her, "Oh mother, am I not your son?" She stood transfixed and the voice came nearer. Suddenly, she saw Thakur standing before her. She could instantly recognize him as she had observed his photo. Thakur said, "Mother, let us return home. I will call you mother and take care of your family." Thakur came to their house with the old woman. Entering the house, the old woman found no mat to offer him to sit. Knowing her anxiety, Thakur without hesitation sat in her lap. Thakur called Selabala, saying, "Sela, rise. Look, I have come to your house." Selabala, who was lying on the ground, rose and saw Thakur sitting in her mother-in-law's lap. She forgot her personal loss, her grief, and prostrated herself on ground before Thakur. Thakur said to them, "Do not worry. I will look after your family. Now I must leave, but I will come again."
Jayaguru. So thank you, Sadhana Shirin, for reading today's topic. It was also one of the important aspects of Thakurjee's life. When first time in Jagannath Puri, Thakurjee's Leela was being observed by public apart from his own devotees. So a good round of applause for Sadhana Shirin of Delhi Saraswat Sangh. I must compliment. I was just going through the YouTube charts So many have congratulated Priyanshi also the way she recapped the entire session of yesterday, and same goes to Sadhana Shirin also. So the way our next generations are, becoming innovative, the way they want to present on their own, nobody is, teaching them, but whatever knowledge they are gaining from their learnings, they are utilizing in this Thakurjee's aspect. So which is a very encouraging fact. So both of you, may Thakurjee bless, both of you. A good round of applause for both of them for, doing their seva in a very meticulous way. So Thakurjee bless you both. So now we will go to the questions and answer session. We have got our expert Bhai Gyana Bhai Jayaguru with us. So let me start reading. So the first question is from Malatilata Ma. I don't know why she asked this, but I have to repeat. So Jayaguru Bhai, who is Chaitanya Bhai?
Chaitanya Bhai, his full name is Chaitanya Charan Das. He worked at Samaj office. He was their accountant for a long time. He is the founding member of Samaj publication, or Gopabandhu Press they used to be called. He came to know Thakura through one of his uncle who had a book, Yogi Guru, I believe, and came to Nilachala and got initiated with his wife, Suruchi Sundari Devi. And in 1964, after Bandamali Das Bhai passed away, he became president of Nilachala Sangha, and he also became president and Padichalak of Nilachala Sangha in 1989. And he left his mortal body in 2001, I believe. Kuna Bhai, you may know better.
I don't remember exactly.
2001, 2002, somewhere in that time frame. Somebody else would know. And he is very fondly known as Chaitanya Bhai to all of us. We all revere him. His devotion to Thakura. And one thing I want to mention that he wanted to see Thakura every weekend when Thakura stayed at Nilachala. And at that time, he didn't have money to really buy a train ticket every weekend. So Friday, after finishing his work, he will start towards Puri on a bicycle. I remember he was in Cuttack. That's where Samaj office is even today. So he would ride the bike all the way to Puri, get there by morning, go meet Durgacharan Bhai, take a bath there in his place, and then come to see Thakura in the afternoon, because Thakura didn't meet people unless there's some special occasion in the morning. So afternoon is when they did, and he will go meet Thakura, and evening he rides back, and then Sunday morning he's there in Cuttack and starts working. So he was that dedicated.
Thank you, Gyana Bhai, for the 63 Bhai and Ma on YouTube. Many of you would be age below 15, 16, 14, whatever. So for the knowledge of all of you, from Cuttack to Puri is approximately 100 kilometers. And the way today's road is, that time the road must not have been that way. He was riding cycle just to see Thakurjee at Puri. And once Durga Charana Bhai, not once, many times he kept telling to everybody ki why Chaitanya Bhai is Siddha. I mean, he was asking to devotees कि चैतन्य भाई कहीं की सिद्ध जानिच ना कहीं की ना से को भी संघ पूजा मिस करना आते. So this is also one of the important aspect for each and everybody of us. So ठाकुर कहते सप्ताह को थरे तुमे संघ रे आस, एटा ठाकुरंकर निर्देश आम पई. तेणु जदि केवल आमे संघ रे पहुंची जिबा, सो संघ रे पहुंचीबा पई कहैछि, तापरे संघ निर्देश रे जहा आपण सेवा करंतु, सुनंतु, प्रसाद पांतु, whatever you do. So this is going to make our life a transformational life. There is no doubt about it. So चैतन्य भाईंकर बहुत अनुभूति अछि. एवं जेते बेले ठाकुर used to go to West Bengal, Kolkata from Puri. So he definitely will wait at Cuttack railway station, and generally the trains are night trains. So it starts from Puri and reach in Kolkata in the morning. So till the time Cuttack station is not passed, Thakurjee used to not to go to sleep. He will wait for his Shishya Chaitanya Bhai. Chaitanya Bhai would be standing there with a garland. So once station arrived, he will go and garlanded Thakurjee and pranam him, and then by taking the blessings, he used to go to his home. So these are the kind of love and affection he was having to Thakurjee, which is great learning for all of us. There are many things about Chaitanya Bhai. One thing Devashish Mahanti Bhai has just mentioned, like Gyana Bhai told Chaitanya Bhai and his wife Suruchi Sundari Ma had taken initiation from Thakurjee on the same day. At that point in time, Suruchi Sundari Ma was having pregnant, and she was having a daughter. Manama was there in his womb. So it is being told she also got initiation from Thakurjee, because at that point in time, this is what has been told by Thakurjee.
Actually, Thakura said that. So
Yes.
she asked Thakura, "Can you initiate me? I am pregnant." Thakura
Yes.
said, "Well, then there will be two of you."
Two of you, yes. So anyway, nice question, Ma. So, but please write about Chaitanya Charana Bhai in the Sangha Sevakas. Many articles have been written about him. We all should know. Now, the second question is from Ninima. What happened to Liluma after demise of Thakur Baba? And Liluma, where did she live after demise of Thakurji?
Ninima, just want to, for us who are really devotees of Thakura, we don't use that English word called demise. Once he passed his mortal body or left his mortal body is the language we generally use, because there is no demise to Siddha Mahapurusa that Thakura was. But besides that, Lilama stayed in Calcutta for a little bit, came back to Nilachala Kutir with Surama. They lived in Nilachala Kutir for several years, and Durgachan Bhai used to take care of them, because before Thakura left his mortal body, he bought a lot of lands, like about 10 acres of land in Bonmali Bhai's village or near about. So Durgachan Bhai used to take care of those and bring in rice, whatever was coming out of the farming, and they were living there. Then at some point in probably 50s, what happened, Nilachala Kutir needed a lot of repair, that they didn't have money. So they decided to give Nilachala Kutir to, they means again, Naranima was the hire or the legal hire of the Kutira, and the Surama was the, basically a caretaker of Naranima, because he was young. So they gave that to Nilachala Kutir Mahila Sangha, Nilachala Saraswat Sangha Mahila Sangha, and then they went to live in Calcutta, where Naranima finished her education. She had a master's in history from Calcutta University, and wrote a lot of books and a lot of articles in Arjodha those days. And in 70s, she became very ill, and it was getting very difficult for them to live there. And by the way, throughout this time, Durgachan Bhai kept on supporting them through sending some money, sending rice and other things. That was going on. So I think someplace in this book we read that Durgachan Bhai, Satyapriya Bhai, and there are other people that we know went there. Devendra Bhai is the other person who lived there at that point, Devendra Mahapatra Bhai. So they requested both Maas to come and live in Odisha, and they agreed, because Naranima was really not doing well health-wise, whereas Bodama, Surama was in excellent health. They came and lived in Ekamra Sangha for the next 2 or 3 years before Naranima passed away. And Surama lived there till early 90s, 92 or 94 somewhere. I don't remember the dates. Till then, she was close to 100 years old by then. So that is the brief history of them afterwards. What Naranima did, once she was going through her education, and after the education, she decided not to get married because she took this one word of Thakura, which said, Thakura said, I think we read it, said, if Lilu gets married, her offsprings will take care of Kutira. And my samadhi, if I pass over here and have the samadhi here, and that was thing. Then Ma's point was, why did Thakura said if? So she took that and said, probably Thakura didn't want me to get married. So she never got married. And started doing a lot of research on Thakura's biography. She has published extensive articles and wrote a couple of books, Jivan Prasanga, completely on the research that she has done, talking to a lot of people, even the old people that still survived at that point, who knew Thakura when Thakura was a child. So she has done a tremendous amount of research work. And those of you who can read Odia or Bengali, I would advise you to read Sri Nigamananda Jivani Prasanga, Part 1, Part 2. Wonderful book. Or Nilachala Thakur Nigamananda, another 2 books, Part 1 and Part 2. Read them. Great books. Or Jivani Prasanga is probably 1. Sorry, I may be getting it mixed up.
No, 2 bhai. So Part 1, Part 2 also. Yes.
Part 1, okay. Yeah. That's right.
Yes. By what kind of disease she was having? Blood cancer?
I don't remember. Somebody else probably in this call
in
knows.
Odia, it's being written what was the disease, but I am afraid if the meaning is blood cancer. Why I raise this topic is, she wrote many books. Apart from what Gyanabhai told, many articles in Arya Darpan, as he mentioned. Apart from that, now there are 5 volumes have already been released, 5 or 6 volumes. I don't remember the name of the book.
Lila Manjari.
So Lila Manjari. So apart whatever book she had written, anyone going through any book, it will be, we can visualize that Narayani Devi was writing as if the incident was happening in front of him. So this is how her writings are so lively. And why I mentioned this is, she wrote all these things when she was completely ill. And I read from somewhere, the kind of treatment at that point in time was being given to her was not like medicines or this, that. She used to sleep on the iron plate on, pitch, sun rays on the daytime. I don't know what exactly was the disease, so I have to translate that into English. Okay.
Yeah, Yamadama says cerebral complication. I think she's right.
Yes.
So it was something to do with
brain, veins and all. Yes. So anyway, so she was going through a very difficult time. But how to get rid of that? She kept writing for the mankind, for the entire world to know who Thakurjee is and how the Leela of Radha and Krishna and Gopi happened. So these all books are the best, devotion for her to the mankind. So kindly read them. So thank you for asking these questions also, Ninima. Now the third question is from Pratyush Praharaj. What is the meaning of burial ceremony?
Burial means really, there are the 3 ways our Sanatana Dharma says how to treat with a body of a departed soul. Generally, you probably know the cremation, which is you burn the body, or you throw them in holy waters, or you bury them. So our sannyasis, only way offered to them, especially Siddha sannyasis, is to bury them. And there is a very specific ceremony. There are all kinds of things happens with mantras being uttered. So I don't know all the steps, but I've heard it's a pretty elaborate ceremony. So they must have done that for Thakura when they took Thakura's body to to Halisahar and buried the body there. And they have built a beautiful temple on top of that and a statue of Thakur on top of the place that his body was buried.
So, three things like Gyanabhai told, let me tell. Jala Samadhi, which generally being taken place with the saints who are staying near Ganga ji, Yamuna ji kind of thing, or maybe Saraju Devi ji. So, what generally they do is, they tied some stones to the body of the the saint, and they take that in a boat to middle of the river, and then they poured it into the river. So recently, if all could recall the Jal Samadhi of Ram Bhadracharya, so or you can Google it, you will come to know what Jal Samadhi is. So this is one. Second is the Daha Sanskara, what we do, take to the cremation ground and fire it. Nowadays, gas machines, electric machines have also evolved. The third one, what Gyanabhai told, so, I haven't seen, but what I heard is they put oil to the entire body, then put some salt, charcoals, all these things, and maybe put in a wooden structure or may not, I am not sure. Then they put inside the, they dig the land where they want to bury it. So this is how it's being done. So just for knowledge, information, for us, our is Daha Sanskara. So we will go by that. Tushar Mahanti Bhai is asking, Gyanabhai, what is the name of the landlord who invited Thakurjee to his
I don't know this particular incident he is describing in the book. I'm not able to connect that with any other book that I have read where Thakur, stops in a place and goes there. So if somebody else knows, please refer to another book that we can find out what's the name of the Zamindar.
See, the intention of writing this is need to understand, not about the name of the landlord. So the intention of writing this is the landlord invited Thakurjee. He organized everything. He did all the expenses of processions, this, that. He had prepared a lavish kind of food for everybody, including Thakurjee. But Thakurjee stopped the procession in front of a very poor family, went inside, asking them, are you not going to ask me to sit? He sat there and he told, I am hungry, please get me some food. So this is what we need to know. Ki Thakurjee, the way Priyanshi Ma told us, ki she was referring her grandfather, ki telog here, she used that word, ki esabuthre kale Thakura khushi huantani, Thakura bhabare khushi huanti. So this is what we should understand from this topic. Now Riddhi from Karnataka is asking Gyanabhai, what is Diksha? Not Diksha Aradhana. She is asking what is Diksha.
What is Diksha? We had that question some time ago.
Yes.
Dhyate Jnanam Khiyate Sarva Sansaya is called Diksha. When a guru provides Diksha, there are different ways to do Diksha. We talked about that also briefly to describe. Then Guru provides the knowledge which leads to the salvation of the disciple, and any kind of doubts that the disciple has, Guru takes them away. So there are all kinds of Diksha. One of them could be by touching, by just looking at a disciple. Thakur has done all of them. Touch Diksha he has done. One time I was talking to this great devotee of Thakur, Bolai Bandopadhyay. So he mentioned that he's related to Bhuvan Brahmachari or Bhuvanananda Saraswati. So he was just describing Bhuvan Saraswati came to his house in Asansol or someplace he was living at that time, and gave Diksha to his wife, Dipalima. So immediately my kind of inconsistent mind asked, so did you get Diksha from somebody? Then he says, when Thakura touched me, that is my Diksha. I don't need, he was only 4 years old when he saw Thakura. So it's not like he was an older person that Thakura would have given him Diksha. Thakura did not. So he said, Thakura touched me. That is Diksha for me. Why do I need another person to tell me something in my ear? So ear is another way to mantra, Karna Diksha, Karna Mantra Diksha it's called. So there are various different ways. Kunabhai was referring the other day, writing the mantra on a bell leaf and offering to Thakura is another way of Diksha that happens in our Sangha also. So there are many ways of Diksha, and we take this Meru Tantra Diksha by accepting Paricayapatra and accepting Thakura as our Guru. Sorry,
So-
I elaborated.
No, great, Bhai. So the direct answer, let me recall what Gyanabhai told on the first line. Diyante Divya Gyanascha Khiyante Sarva Sansaya iti Diksha. This is what Thakurjee told. So, Diksha क्या है? ना आपको दिव्य ज्ञान मिलता है और उसी दिव्य ज्ञान से आपकी सारे संशय खत्म हो जाती है. सारे संशय में सारे आ जाता है. मतलब आपको यही नहीं कि कल सुबह मेरा क्या होगा, ये भी एक संशय, ये भी खत्म हो जाएगी. उसको दीक्षा कहते हैं. सो इमेजिन कि इफ यू गेट दीक्षा फ्रॉम ठाकुर जी, व्हाट वी आर getting it in the process through Sangha, so the entire Ori will over, because we have to surrender before Thakurjee. This question was also there 2-3 days back. So Tisha from Burla Sangha is asking Gyanabhai, who was Mr. Woodruff?
Yeah, great question. Mr. Woodruff, John Woodruff, his name is, was a judge in Calcutta, and he was also a great practitioner of Tantra. So he has written a lot of books. You can even search in Google and find his books by the name of, he did not use his own name, he used another name called Arthur Avalon, Avalon. Look for it, you'll find some of the books are available free. So he has written a lot of books. He has translated some books, including one book of sadhu named Purnananda Giri, who was Brahmananda Giri's disciple. He wrote a book called Satchakra Nirupana, and Woodruff has translated that. I have that copy of that book. So he, the way it is described in this book is a little bit different than what is reported elsewhere, like Nilachala and another book I think I've read. So how that went is, so he was a great tantric. So he did all Tantra, and Tantra, as we have discussed, really focuses on Saguna Brahma. So he says, perhaps he writes an article in a magazine saying that perhaps Hinduism hasn't gone above this. It just stayed there. There is probably something beyond this, I don't know what that is, and Hinduism hasn't reached that. Thakura read it. So he asked one of his disciples to protest that. I believe Phanimitra, but I could be wrong. So he asked his disciple to protest. So he got protested. So then he saw the protest and say, okay, then I need to ask you questions. And Thakura says, if you follow Tantra and then follow Bhakti Dharma, then you can understand what is beyond the Saguna Brahma or Maya and understanding Maya. So he decided to come to Puri and stayed with Puri King's palace and met Thakura. And probably went to Konark, because there's a photograph of him at Konark, and it's in his Satchakra Nirupana translated book. And basically Thakura asked him to read two of these, Bhakti Sandarbha and Narada Pancharatra is the book, those two books. So he obviously was very satisfied, went back, read it, and came back again. He definitely met Thakura twice at Nilachala.
Thank you, Bhai, for a nice description of Mr. Woodruff. The next question is, okay. So Ninima is asking, as Thakur Maharaj has all 4 siddhis, my question is, what initiation did the devotees who came to him pray for Diksha while he was in the earthly body? When Diksha did the devotees pray? Which Diksha did the devotees pray?
As you said, Thakura was Siddha in 4 different ways. And generally, he told his devotees, generally I'm saying 99% of his devotees, to follow the path of prema bhakti, path of bhakti you can say, devotion. So devotion itself and chanting his mantra that he has given will lead us to salvation. That was his strong opinion. So anybody he initiated was initiation. Generally, the diksha is a tantric process. We talked about it the other day. Bell leaves are used and all that. But he never asked 99% of his devotees to follow the path of tantra, because it has a lot of sthula stuff, the physical stuff, and you have to go to a smasan or burial ground and do all this stuff. So he didn't want people to go through hardship. He wanted people to live in a household life and really practice this path of devotion. So that is, again, I said 99, because there are some of his disciples who are initiated in the path of Tantra. Prafulla Bhanjadev is one of them. There are a few others. And that's Jnana Marga. I don't think he has initiated anybody. Yoga, he said he integrated that into his path of devotion. So that is generally what we have.
But the only two line I'll add. Initially, Thakurjee used to ask everybody ki tamara ishta kiye, who is your ishta, so that I will give you that mantra. So in due course of time, he started not asking this question also. So when he wanted to initiate, did the initiation of Durga Charan Bhai never asked for initiation. Why? Because he was knowing, if I'll do initiation, then Thakurjee will ask me, who is your Ishta? And as far as Durga Charan Bhai is concerned, he never loved anyone else apart from Thakurjee. He didn't like any other gods apart from Thakurjee. So he was in dilemma what to do. So when Thakurjee told ki Durga Charan, go and take bath and come, today your initiation will be done. So he could not he could not say yes. He was in dilemma what to do, because if Thakurjee will ask me, what should I reply? So Thakurjee told, don't worry, I know what you exactly want. So this is how. So what Thakurjee was doing for initiation, he knew it better. Today also, Ninima was having another question, ki should I also get initiation from Thakurjee today? Yes, ma. Just love him. You will get anything and everything. What you want, Thakurjee knows, and he will give you. Don't worry. Now I'll go to the next question. Everybody has, given compliments to Sadhana Sharma for the reading also. The question is, okay, so Dr. Premanand Bhai is complimenting the only Ajivana Sabhya of NSS for Chaitanya Charan Das Bhai. Bhai rightly said, not only Ajivana Sabhya, Ajivana Sabhapati. So in bylaw also, it was being clearly written, he will be Ajivan. Not in bylaw it's written, but he was Ajivan.
Kunal Bhai, I will correct both of you.
Yes.
If you read the bylaw, it is said at that time that Chaitanya Bhai and Durga Charan Bhai and Gunanidhi Patnaik Bhai, those are the three lifelong members.
Lifelong members, yes.
And later on, when Nilachala Sartha Sangha, both Maj came to Ekamra, Suroma became Nilachala Sartha Sangha, Mahila Sangha's president for life, as well as Narayanima became vice president of Nilachala Saraswati Mahila Sangha for life. So there are more people, just not Chaitanya Bhai.
Thank you, Bhai. I could now recollect the first bylaw, whatever you told, it's being written. So Smita Pandama is writing about the disease of Narayanima as TB, Jakhma. So I also could recall. Anyway, so then what is, yes. So Smita Pandama was asking, is the temple is still existing? Yes, mine Hali sir. Somebody has already answered. Okay, Harish Narayan Bhai has answered. Now Premanand Bhai is telling Shorupa is told or depicted by Guru and way is instructed to realize that Swarupa through Diksha, if I can recall correct Bhai. Yes Bhai. So please keep adding because you heard many things from many discussions. So now Ramesh Lenka Bhai is asking, what are Sambit, Sandhini and Hladini Shakti? Jana Bhai, we have got very few minutes, but yes, you can.
Good question. I'll do it very short. I know what you said means that I have to make it short. So we have been answering long today.
But it's good, Bhai. Everybody is enjoying, don't worry. So
we have talked about Brahma being Satchit Ananda. 3 different qualities. We can't say Brahma has qualities, but way to kind of describe Brahma is Satchit Ananda. So when Brahma became real, in a sense, that created the universe, so he engulfed his Maya and became Saguna Brahma or Jagat Mata, Jagat Janani. So Maya plus Brahma becomes Sakti. So those Satchit Ananda, those 3 things, if you add Maya to them, they become Sakti. Those 3 Saktis are called Sambit, Sandhini and Hladini. And they correspond to Satchit and Ananda. So Hladini Sakti is Ananda. There is a question after that, so I'm answering that now. Hladini Sakti is the Ananda portion of Brahma, which is Radha is the representation of that.
Thank you, Bhai. So Tushar Mahanti Bhai has asked a very, I will say it's a Vaidhanika Prashna. So he is asking, it is in Hali Sahar Math. However, we don't need to visit. As for us, our Thakur is present in Sthula, as per NSS. Then why to visit there?
I don't think what you are saying is correct. Our Sangha never says Thakur is sitting there in Sthula. Thakur can take a Sthula form if he wants to. So again, this was his mortal body, Sthula Sarira, which is lying at rest in Halisar Ashram. So if you have a chance, go there. They have a process. You have to wear a dhoti, and clean dhoti to go there. Even I remember one time I went there. My nephew was like 6-year-old, and they still forced him to wear dhoti. And then they allow you to go round. So basically, do a parikrama of Thakur's body. There is nothing wrong with that. We know Thakur, that body is not Thakur. We know Thakur said that 100 times that this is my body that is going to just rot. Once I pass away, this body is going to rot. So Pocha Gala Sarir is the word that he used many times. So we believe in that, but at the same time, this was his divine body that he did all these sadhanas. So there is a way to offer our salutation to that.
So Gyana Bhai, let me tell why Tushar Bhai is asking this question, and let me say background to it. You must be knowing it. Actually, what happened initially when Thakurjee told, I am still the Guru, the way I was managing or I was giving Diksha, I was giving advices to all of you, I'll keep doing so. And that is how Nilachala Saraswata Sangha is established. No pacharile kahibani, no dakile jibani, asile Narayan Gyanare seva karibo. This is what was the main principle of Nilachala Saraswata Sangha. But what happened to Assam Bangya Saraswata Math is, whatever way, after getting the thing passed in the trust board and all these things, they started giving Diksha, and they started giving Diksha to whoever was coming to the Matha and all these things. So what Durgacharana Bhai categorically mentioned at that point in time, one, कि तमे जदि हालीसर मठ जीव कौन देखिब ना ठाकुर समाधि. अरे ठाकुर समाधि केमती देखिब, ठाकुर परा स्थूल रे अछंती, तेणु समाधि देखिया को कहीं जीव. कारण why Durgacharana Bhai was saying so is because that point in time the devotees of those days must be in dilemma what to do, whether to follow the Diksha by the next Mahantas of Asambhangya Saraswat Mutt, or to follow what Thakurjee told to Narayan Das Nandi, ki Ami Guru Theke Gala. So to clear this confusion, might be some devotees won't be able to digest or whatever is the consequences. So he had clearly advised not to go Halisaha, number one. Number two, also he was advising to devotees not to even go to Sarvabhauma Bhakta Sammelani. Because what happened in Sarvabhauma Bhakta Sammelani also, they have got some Diksha session. So maybe some devotees will go and take Diksha. At that point in time, they were very vibrant in, giving Diksha to whoever was little bit devoted to Thakurjee. So they didn't even spare our Vishwanath Pradhan Bhai, who was one of the pillar of Nilachala Saraswat Sangha. So this is how. So this is the background. But Tushar Bhai, Sangha is there. Now, as far as the current instruction of Sangha is concerned, many Bhais like Sangram Sinha Bhai, Umesh Samantara Bhai. Acha, one more thing. Durga Charan Bhai was going to Sarvabhauma. Every Sammelan, he never missed anyone. Because he was going to represent Nilachala Saraswat Sangha, Gruhi Tyaginkara Sammelana, he was being invited. And along with him, some Bhais of Cuttack, including Umesh Samantara Bhai, then Sinha Bhai started following. So this is how some Bhais and Maas started going. Nowadays, there is no restrictions from Nilachala Saraswat Sangha. So, it's allowed to go. This is what is the background, Bhai. So I think it was better to get clarity. Okay. Yes, thank you. So Tushar Mahanti Bhai is again telling, as per Thakur Maharaj, Dikshar Uddeshya Bhagavananka Pai Vyakulata. Yes. Dikshar Prayojana Sukshma Dehara Raksha O Shanti Nimitta. ठीक है भाई. So there are many definitions of Diksha. So Thakurjee has also wrote many things. You have clarified in a different way. So thank you for that. Today we are exhausted with all the questions. So we will go to the next session. Ninima is asking Gruhi Tyagi Sammelana, what is the meaning of that? Tyagi, okay. Tyagi. Tyagi mane sannyasi. Ninima Tyagi mane who is Tyag. So Tyaga means, Tyagar English kono? To leave everything or what?
Given up. Those who have given up the household affair are called Tyagi.
Yes, yes. So Gruhi means we, and Tyagi means like Gyana Bhai has left everything and went to America. So he is Tyagi.
No, I'm not a Tyagi. I'm Gruhi. Those guys who have given up their household things, their families and all that. Those are Tyagis. Those are Nazis.
Yes. So requesting Priyambada Ma and yes, sacrifice is the real word. So Priyambada Ma and Devasis Bhai, kindly flash the questions of today. Kladini Shakti, she is not getting Ninima. Okay. Kladini Shakti. Yeah.
We can elaborate that maybe tomorrow, depending on how many questions. I'll go short. Yes, today we just I answered the question and associated things, so we can do that. And
you answered in Paribhasha way, so tomorrow we will have a description
way, so we can cover more.
Yes. So Bhais and Ma, please start answering. We have also flashed the same QR